Hey everyone, it's 8 o'clock on December 14th, and I'm your host, John Brown, and this is Spam Sports, Politics, and More, episode 19. So, unlike normally, my co host, Nick Durst, is at his company Christmas party, so he can't be with us tonight. But I have a special guest. His name is Sean McGowan. He's from the Retro Aid podcast, which you can find how to plug for you as well. We're going to talk a little bit about Mets, politics, all the basics, if we can figure out Skype and get him on the line. But before we go there, just sort of go over the weekend review. The scary Russian bad guys have been sort of like the media story this week, which is, it's a real shame that it's going there because it's nonsense. It's like the 1980s. Like I feel like. I feel like the bad guy from Rocky IV is going to be on the next fucking Putin hack was fucking by dragging down Rockbrook. It's just bullshit. But so yeah, hold on a second. I'm going to give Sean, if you're listening, I'm going to give you a call on your cell phone to try to get you on here. Sean normally does the pre-recorded, so this is his first real entry into the live radio. So let's see if we can't get him on the horn. Now, I feel like we're doing the inverse of a regular sports show or a regular talk show where like callers call you. We're calling people. Hold on. Sean.
Yes.
Hey, I can't really hear you. You got to speak up a little bit, okay?
No problem.
So your Skype sucks. We couldn't get it going, but we're on here now. If you want, tell the listeners how they can find your show.
YouTube, Automatic is the third one. Retro Game Podcast. Cover numerous aspects of pop culture. Glad to be a guest host tonight. Of a wide range of topics.
All right. Sounds like a plan. So, a couple things that we normally talk about. Obviously, I was getting into the CIA nonsense, like pretend CIA bullshit that the Democrats. So basically, the big story, the thing I've been talking about all day today. Have you heard about LeBron James and him being like this gigantic social justice warrior, fucking idiot lately?
I mean, he's a talent, but he also has no tendency. Just the other day, game in Memphis. Yeah, I don't want to play. What about the fans? $4 see? Yeah, I don't care. So he definitely has a bias. If he's a talent, definitely has that.
Well, that's obviously I'm not arguing against LeBron not being good or not. LeBron's phenomenal. He's arguably the best basketball player of our generation. But on the same note, he's some kid or guy or whatever now that didn't go to college. He played he's really good at a sport. And now he's really rich. Where does he, why should I take political advice from him? I wouldn't want political advice from Tiger Woods or Michael Phelps or Tom Brady. So I don't want it from LeBron. And it's bizarre to me because it feels like it just recently happened all of a sudden. He was on the campaign with Hillary Clinton, and then he called Phil Jackson a racist, which was bizarre because Phil Jackson said something on the lines. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, so it's actually so bullshit. You get sports radio and I turn it off. I don't hate it. Essentially, I think it was an interview or it was an excerpt from a book or something. They had compared LeBron James' inner circle to a pot. He went up in arms. There's hot seat and people get butt hurt over the slightest.
But it seems fake to me. The word posse doesn't have a racial connotation to it. It's
You're a pack or you're some kind of plan. No, he said it's a very term, not children. It's not. It's definitely out of context, without a doubt.
Absolutely. Okay, so anyway, so that story happened, and the news story now is he's on the cover of Sports Illustrated this month because he's Sports Person of the Year. Can't be a sportsman anymore. Got to be a Sports Person of the Year. And he's wearing a safety pin as some sort of like I don't know, a unity message to people that are afraid because of the Trump presidency. But afraid of what? It doesn't really make any sense. I don't understand the logic behind it. If you saw Kanye yesterday meeting with Trump, you saw Jim Brown meeting with Trump. He's really reached out way more than any other Republican in my lifetime to the African American community. And the fact that LeBron's just bashing him, and there's really no context to it.
You're saying that George W. Bush never invited Dennis Rodman to the White House?
No, not that I know of, though. Who knows?
Yeah, it's weird. Trump Tower is certainly a lot of taxes. It's kind of like the preemptive White House right now. Beginning. But yeah, you see a lot of different taxes going down. That's pretty interesting.
You know what? I like it because obviously the way that we have it set up right now is not working. It's a unsustainable system. What's going on right now? And the same note, like, listen, the media is going after him for like skipping briefings and shit. He's not even the president. It's not his job. He can fucking hang out with Kanye in Midtown all day, every day, if that's what he so chooses.
When you become president-elect, it's going to be Barack. Regardless, if he's signed up for it. If you look at the president, not of age, to the age, like 40%.
Yeah, the president is a disaster.
Oh, look at Trump and 8 years ago. He's gonna look like a zombie for 8 years. He's already got, he's 7 years old. He's gonna be 70, and he's like 85.
Okay, Sean, I think we're losing you a little bit, but it's actually a pretty good time.
Yeah, can you hear me? Sorry, my connection's a little shaky.
Much, much, much better. But right now, we have a weekly segment with our field reporter, Andrew. Let me just get Andrew on the call, and then he's going to do the 10 at 10, which is our weekly little skit that we like to do. I think it actually works pretty well, but let's see if we can't get him on. I think that the topic today is going to be about gridlock, because it's gridlock alert in the city. And Andrew!
Hey, hang on.
All right, so we got Andrew on the line. We got Sean on the line. Hey, Sean, now that we can hear you a little bit better, why don't you tell us where they can find your podcast again?
All right, so the Retrocade podcast on Podomatic, on Spotify, YouTube, iTunes, Facebook.
Nice. Anyone out there who's listening, you can find us on the TuneIn app, UCY TV, obviously the website, and then all of our, after they're live, probably the next day, I can send you a cut of this. What sucks is we don't get to edit it because it's live radio. So shitty connections, phone calls taking too long, can't find Andrew, nothing you can do. It's live radio. If I was Mike Francesa, I'd be yelling at my producer right now. Where's my mic?
All right, I'm here, guys. So it's 8:10, everybody. Oh, hang on. I think that lagged. Let me do it again. Sorry. I hate when it does this. There we go. I fixed it. Dumb thing. I swear, I hate when Audacity does this. Okay, everybody. So this week, we are going to do top 10 favorite video games.
Oh, perfect.
All right. It's going to be fun, everybody. Sorry about that. Let me click out of that. Sorry. There we go. Okay, so let's start off with number 10, and then we're going to work our way down to number 1. So, number 10 is a very classic SUV racing game that I just played on my Andy Play series on YouTube called 4x4 Evo 2. What I like about this game is you basically can race around in sport utility vehicles, like my personal favorite, the Chevy Tahoe, or you can do career mode. Very fun and exciting game. It's available on the GameCube and the original Xbox.
Not too familiar with this one. We'll keep it going.
All right. Yeah, I got no complaints. I've never heard of it, but it's retro. I'll give you that. What's number 9?
Number 9 is Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2. And if you play the GameCube version, it has way more interesting storyline for a race than the PlayStation 2 version. So if you're willing to take your chances on this game, please play it for the GameCube. It's way more fun there.
Yeah, a great GameCube game. Pretty interesting.
Yeah, I mean, these GameCube games I grew up with. So they're exciting, they're fun, and, especially this one with all the tournament mode in the GameCube.
You know what the GameCube always reminds me of? Doug.
Doug?
Yeah, this kid we grew up with, his name is Doug, and he's still playing GameCube right now, probably.
Oh, I have a Wii, so don't have to worry about that.
All right, number 8.
Let's keep the list going.
Hang on, Sean, make your point again.
I'll say let's keep the list going. Number 8, what do we got for us?
All right, number 8, available on the PlayStation 2 and the GameCube itself, Crazy Taxi.
That's something I've actually played. I think you're into racing games more than most people, man. I'm not into that at all.
Really?
I do have memories of Crazy Taxi arcade years ago, and also the Dreamcast. It was an awesome game.
I think that was one of like the Sega CD games. Like it was one of those like random like hybrid before PlayStation 1 got big, and it was like a fucking million different systems everybody had.
Well, there's a story behind Crazy Taxi. So when I was a kid, my mom was complaining that, why are you spending your money on the arcade game? Don't you realize there's a version for it on the GameCube? And she's like, really? Yeah, someone told me about it because she used to work at school at the time. So she said, get a copy, go to GameStop, and I did the right thing. And before I get into number 7, anybody who has the Dreamcast, which not that many people have, that's where the origins of this game came from. So it was a Sega game, still is, but you have a GameCube or a PlayStation 2, highly recommend you get this game because it is insane.
All right, number 7.
A quick comment.
All right.
All right, Sean, what do you got?
A crazy Uber game where it's some immigrant from East Africa drives around Manhattan.
I like it. I like it. It could be like a Grand Theft Auto, but like the guy's a secret cell terrorist. He's trying to blow up Manhattan, but he has to make ends meet at the 7-Eleven and the Uber.
Oh, boy, that would be
the
fun.
point of the game is people around, they get lost and don't get their charge.
And then when someone gives you less than 5 stars, you gotta fucking murder them.
Then you lose. You want to get 5 stars, and they say Mr. Lang, whatever the occasion is, then you advance to the next level.
All right, number 7.
All right, we're going to go sports the next 5. So
nice.
These are games that I grew up with, especially recently with my senior year in high school, which was 2012, 2013. So we're going to go with a wrestling game, which is WWE 13. And in this game, it's not just the presentation and the wrestling, but for you wrestling fans out there, you get to play the exclusive Attitude Era.
Yeah, I'm not into the wrestling games. The last wrestling game I played was on N64, and I didn't. It was big at the time. I don't even remember what game it was. Sean, do you remember what game that was?
I think 64 is my last wrestling game. It was like Raw vs. Rumble or something like that.
Yeah. All I knew is that you could press the up R button next to the crowd and get weapons and shit. And I would just get trash cans and whatnot and hit people with it. But the game lost interest pretty quick.
Remember that.
Well, we need to bring up Nick Durst for a sec, who's not on the air. I want to bring him into the conversation for an honorable mention, and that is his favorite all-time wrestling game on the PlayStation 2, and that is SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain, the only other video game cover that had Brock Lesnar on it. next to this year's game, which I'm going to get for the holidays.
All right. Number 6.
All right. So, number 6, I'm going to go with ESPN NFL 2K5.
2K5.
Yeah, I think very iconic game. We right Blitz for the 60.
No, it was
Yeah.
on the PlayStation 2.
No, I know. They don't even make Madden beat them out. This shouldn't be the most top 10 games. This should be the most random games of the top 10 most random games.
I love this game. I grew up with it. Terrell Owens was on the cover.
But it's like a franchise that doesn't even exist anymore.
I know, but still.
You're like, my favorite video game ever, the XFL.
XFL?
Did they make that to a game? I know it was a short-lived failure, but I don't know if it made the video game.
Yeah, I don't know. That was actually the first collaboration between Donald Trump and Vince McMahon. Didn't work though.
Yeah, I remember how that failed.
Well,
I eat those.
Just had an office.
Yeah. Donald Trump's in the WWE Hall of Fame. What's up?
Yes, he is.
That's a pretty easy window.
All right, number 5, most random games ever.
Oh, Madden NFL 2004, the game that changed the way we looked at football games forever, and that's why it led into how great NFL 2K5 was.
You know what? The Madden 2004, I actually played the shit out of. That was me and Sean senior in high school. We played the fuck out of it.
I still have it on the PlayStation 2.
Who's on the cover of that?
Sean Alexander, I think.
No, you're wrong. Michael Vick.
Wrong. Sorry, I don't remember it was on the cover of a game fucking 12 years ago.
Did he have the dog collar on the cover?
Pound pooches, Michael Vick.
Let's keep this rest dog. What do you got for us?
All right, so number 4, I'm gonna go with NBA Live 2006.
You're going all the off-brand sports things.
I really like forgotten franchises.
I loved this game so much, and I also loved NBA Live 07 too. But 06 was my personal favorite because it was the first to ever put NBA Live on the map.
What was the basketball game for Super Nintendo where if you made a couple shots in a row, the ball would go on fire?
NBA Jam.
Awesome.
That game was fucking dope. I love that game.
NBA games, NBA courtside, if anyone remembers it.
No, I don't remember that.
I would say it came out around 2003. Awesome game. I'm not a basketball game fan, but it's the one game I own that I can enjoy. That's him in the GameCube.
Oh, nice. All right, number 3.
All right, number 3. Obviously, the best baseball game ever made of all time, even though I can't stand the guy on the cover. MVP Baseball 2005.
Not MLB The Show? Not the one that's still alive?
What about Griffey N64? That's awesome.
No. You know what? If we're going to talk about dead baseball franchises, I really liked High Heat back in the day. You remember that game?
High Heat.
Yes, I loved it.
It had Kurt Schilling on the cover
I
when he was
love
still on the Diamondbacks.
No interesting fact, Kurt Schilling invested in a video company and lost like millions of dollars.
Yeah, I heard about that. He also borrowed money from the government and he can't pay it back, so he had to like fire sell all of the shit in his house. Felt bad. He sold the Cy Youngs and stuff.
I don't feel bad. He's kind of a shithead. I mean, he was a good baseball player.
I follow him on Twitter. He's actually a good Twitter follow. Listen, he tried to make a game. He tried to get into an industry. He's rich again, so he must be doing something right. All right. What do you got, Andy?
Number 2, Grand Theft Auto 5.
All right. I like it.
Something modern. Some people know. There we go.
I love the story. I was playing it for almost a month and a half, and I could not put the controller down. It was incredible, and I love the game so much. I even have it on story mode again, restarting it.
Wow.
PS3 and PS4.
Is this your favorite of the series?
No, that's where I go into number 1. That will still be Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
Really? I'm a Vice City fan. That's my.
I can't blame you. I mean, I have Vice City as well. I love Vice City, but nothing ever comes close as San Andreas. I'm sorry.
The 80s cocaine theme with the bright cars and the crazy.
Oh, yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, I love the storyline for Vice City as well, especially with Tommy Vercetti. And I even have Vice City stories as well.
Sean, do you remember, like...
I never got to okay.
Sean, do you remember being, like, hungover in Neil's basement and playing Vice City for fucking hours?
I gotta phase out over Neil's basement.
Yeah, Neil played the shit out of that game. It's very much what I remember of, I'd say, like, the summer of 2003.
Oh, you're talking about Vice City, right?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Yeah, Vice City. I love that game. I still do.
They made a Scarface game, which essentially was just a knockoff.
Yeah, and the cool thing is, for people who've never even played the game, you can still download it on the PS4, I think.
Oh, okay.
It's on the PS Network. I believe it.
Yeah, I know they have San Andreas. I know that. And I just found out that another classic Rockstar game just got re-released on mobile phones. Bully, a very classic Rockstar game.
Definitely gotta check it out.
All right.
See my cousin playing.
All right. Hey, Andrew, thank you very much for the top of 10. We'll see you again next week. Very topical, seeing how we're talking about retro games. You gave us the most random list ever. Andy's randomness makes sense, I guess. You want to plug yourself where people can find you on social media?
Okay, sure. On social media, you can follow me at Andy's Randomness. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, on Snapchat. I'm Andrew Sports Fan. So if you want to follow, I use Snapchat a lot, so that's where I prefer people to follow me. So go check me out on there.
All right, thanks, Andrew.
No problem. Have a good rest.
Oh, shit, I hung up on him a little early. Sorry, Andrew. What it is? Yeah, I got to give it to Andrew. He certainly knows some fucking random-ass fucking games. Some games I haven't heard of in decades.
I'm expecting a top 10 list, but Zelda, iconic games, Mega Man, MO2, and wrestling, whatever, definitely interesting.
Hey, and you know what, though? At least he didn't name the same bullshit. Oh, Super Mario Brothers. Stupid nonsense like that.
People weren't expecting that list. Nor was I.
He definitely gave him...
Whatever. Definitely.
Yeah, he definitely gave us a little bit different. Oh, so Sean, did you see that the Cardinals cut Michael Floyd today for getting a DUI over the weekend?
Really?
Which is, I think, fucking nuts.
I'm surprised they cut him. Their organization kind of.
I'm surprised they cut him because he's having a good year and he's having a pretty good career. They drafted him high from Notre Dame, second round, I think, and he's a big part of their offense. Why would you cut him over that? I wonder if something happened where like he got a DUI and like the coaches tried to tune his ass and he was like, yeah, fuck you, and they're like, all right, good, you're cut.
But you can look at Miguel Cabrera at 4 DUI. Josh Hamilton was doing like rounds of cocaine. So I don't really believe, he had a DUI, you were cut. There has to be something else.
Yeah.
The player's notorious food time. I don't see them cutting him, especially if he has results. Cardinals packed the Nationals like scouting skills. You know what I'm saying? So they look the other way for a lot of shit. You don't think down here fucked up?
Of course. Miguel Cabrera is a great example of that. That guy's a fucking raging alcoholic, but he's fucking dope. So,
So
he's,
I want to say 2008, 2009 wild card game against Minnesota. The one game you're out. They finished with the same record regular season. They had the one game in the Metrodome. Wild game. Ended up winning the next game. In the game, Miguel Cabrera had flash on his face. Literally, like, don't touch him with. And it turns out that he got really wasted and was fighting with his wife, and his wife flashed with a knife. So he interviewed, hey, flash on your face. So I'm like talking about the game. And he looked hungover. Like, he looked like shit. Not to mention he had a stab wound on his face. He quit drinking after that.
hey, good. You know what? Good for
He
him.
still went before with like 3 RBIs.
Dude, some guys can just, do you remember Kerry Collins, the quarterback for the Giants way back when? Around the league, they used to call him Baka Collins. Yeah, hungover at the Super Bowl. How the fuck do you get hungover for the Super Bowl? Like,
it was like 40-7 or something.
Oh my God, yeah, and we got our ass kicked by Trent Dilfer because our fucking quarterback was all hungover.
How these guys are doing that? They kind of snuck in. And they didn't have Eli.
Yeah, but we did have Tiki Barber that year, and he was having like an MVP season, and it was the same season that Strahan set the single season sack record. So we had like a fucking dope team. If Vaca Collins could have just showed up and been his normal mediocre self, we would have been fine.
Favorite story about Tiki Collins, Tiki Barber is that he does an interview while Eli is going to win a championship. I retire. The next year, the Giants really fit his nose inside his face. So, he lost a lot of.
He ended up getting he had that gig at Fox, and then he started banging some fucking intern or something. He ends up getting divorced because they find out he's banging an intern, and he loses his job too. So he really fucking put his foot in that.
Lost his career, his family. At least his brother is pretty well respected.
Yeah, well, his brother did it the right thing. He played like a lot more years. He didn't retire when he was like 32, like an asshole. And Tiki was fucking talented, man. Like, think about how good that 2017 would have been with, instead of Derek Ward as, Derek Ward was 1,000-yard rusher that year. He stinks. And all those touches we could have given to Tiki Barber, that would have been a much better team.
You couldn't tell me the running back in the 17. Oh, wow. No, Jacobs. Remember Jacobs, right? Was he on that team?
Yeah, it was the emergence of Bradshaw. So Bradshaw was a 7th-round pick, some like rando from Marshall. He ended up it was Derek Ward, Jacobs was the big pound back, and then throughout the season, eventually towards the end, Brandon Bradshaw stole his job. So essentially, that was like the last time we had 2,000-yard rushers that year. The offensive line was fucking dope. That was a great offensive line.
You got to be pretty psyched about your win last week in Dallas. I was huge. I wasn't expecting that.
Me neither. Because like honestly, and everyone's killing Eli, and he played like shit. So I'm not gonna try to excuse him. But like I listened to Boomer and Carton in the morning, and they're just going after Eli the next day after a fucking win, by the way. But listen, they're dead last in the rush. They got no fucking rushing game. And their offensive line fucking sucks. John Jerry should not be in the NFL. He fucking blows. Flowers is starting to look like a bust. Eli's getting his ass kicked. They can't run the ball. So
hold on, Flowers. He looks terrible.
Oh my God, yeah. He's fucking terrible. He gets called for holding all the fucking time. He's a bum. Justin Pugh's all right, but he's a first-round draft pick. He's supposed to be dope. He's not dope. He's serviceable. So our offensive line fucking stinks, and we don't have a running game. So when you don't have a running game, essentially every team goes, all right, we can fucking throw the kitchen sink at you because you can't run the ball, you can't stop it there. The little check down stuff with Vereen works well. Vereen comes back for the first time in fucking 6 weeks and gets hurt again. They're like, Eli can't catch a fucking break. But I think it really highlights is just how goddamn good Odell Beckham Jr. is. That, like, it's insane.
In the league.
You know,
I mean, he's not as far as on the field talent.
he's a little bit of a head case. I'll give you that. But you know, I'm not just saying this because I'm a Giant fan and I'm very biased. But you gotta say, like, listen, if you're planning to play against the Giants, their tight end is from fucking Stony Brook, Will Tye. You know, you're not worried about him. Victor Cruz made of fucking glass. He's always hurt. You know, Shepard.
Shepard, I like that.
Shepard's good, but he's hurt. He's not there right now. So we get fucking.
Week Sunday, on a big line.
You know who I am actually? I didn't make my fucking fantasy playoffs this year, which is really annoying. But I found myself watching a lot of Lions games this year because I had Theo Reddick, and that guy is fucking dope. He had 70 receptions last year for a running back. That's fucking insane.
You have inside ticket or something? How you watch more games than I have? They're not. They don't have. You watch all these Jets, Reds, Chiefs.
No. What I do. So I got the Chromecast on my TV or whatever, and what I do is I go to this website called Strikeout.co, and it's one of those like illegal streaming betting sites, but it's not really filled with ads and shit. It's actually really good, and you get all of the games. It's like having the NFL season ticket. Fucking dope.
I've had mixed results from that team.
What I've been using it for lately is they have the UFC fights. So I watched both Conor McGregor fights for free, and the stream was fucking amazing. It was really good. You know, if anyone wants to,
that stream was horrendous. I almost stopped watching it.
Yeah, I can't. That's my thing. I won't watch if the stream's not in HD. Like I have a fucking 55-inch fucking HD TV. I'm not gonna watch some choppy shit stream because I'm too cheap to get the fight. But this strikeout.cu, they have like 6 or 7 sources usually where you can get it from. If anyone's out there looking for a stream for anything that's, you know, pay-per-view or whatever, you should really type in the name of it, stream, and then the word Reddit, and you'll find all the fucking Reddit people will post a shitload of links. And for the most part, they're usually pretty good. The Alvarez McGregor fight was phenomenal. It was one of the best streams I've ever seen. It's better than Netflix. Like, it was coming in fucking perfect.
Yeah, no, those favorite things you want to see in a casual thing. Just go to the bar to watch.
No, see, I disagree. I won't watch UFC in a bar because UFC or boxing is very much like porn. Guys watch it and then they want to fucking do it. So whenever you go watch UFC in a fucking bar, it always turns into a goddamn fight. And I just hate that. Whenever I do anything in a bar, I like drinking too much, and it doesn't even come about whatever we're going to the bar for. It just comes about me drinking.
Yeah, I've started drinking and we're going to this. This is after a plan. This is the way everyone gets laid.
Yeah, like.
I've started in South America. I can't even tell them here. Sure.
All right, sure. And you break it up a little bit. You got to move around, get a better signal.
All right, hear me better now here.
Much better, much better. So what are you saying about South America?
I'll tell you, think the bars here are bad. There, go out for certain type of bars here, and you know, all your plans are ruined. So I definitely know it. But moving on, I see a lot of rogue Star Wars movies. It's pretty impressive tomorrow.
So I don't have tickets to see it. Like everyone who does listen, and you already know, I have a wife and kids, and I don't get to do anything. So I probably won't see it for a while. Are you going tomorrow?
I am going tomorrow. I'm going midnight show. I go every Star.
You gonna be with all the fucking freaks dressed up?
I wouldn't call them freak, strong word. But yes, I will be there. I have
You know, I've done the opening day thing like you're doing before, and the reason I call them freaks is because there's really no reason for the dressing up. So, for example, episode 2, spoiler alert, it's a fucking 10-year-old movie. So, in episode 2, you know Count Dooku.
My most
what?
hated Star Wars.
What's up?
Episode 2 is my most hated Star Wars.
Yeah, I was like 13 at the time, so I saw it opening night at the theater, and you know the scene where Count Dooku has a fucking lightsaber fight with Yoda?
Yeah, dude, yeah.
Fucking people in the theater are clapping for Yoda. Like, he's not really a person, and he's not fucking here. This isn't Broadway. Yoda doesn't know that you're clapping for him. Shut the fuck up. I'm trying to watch a movie.
And I've seen people clap at movies. That's what they say the day. People clap. It's like when I'm in an airplane and you clap. Hey, we're not. Hey, he did his job. Why are you clapping? Shut up. It bothers me. Unless I'm at a touring event, don't clap.
Listen, if it's not a live performance, there's no reason for you to clap. Even the fucking guy flying an airplane, you think he's like, oh, I could hear them clapping, yay. You know, you start clapping for people doing their job. Like, I'm gonna hand in my fucking quarterly earnings report, and my fucking boss is gonna be clapping me out of the office. It doesn't make any sense.
I'll tell you one thing: the Malaysian airplane, they weren't clapping. Not that, not that we know what happened, but.
Well, I know what happened. Sarah Palin told me so. They were on the plane, they were flying, and they flew right into heaven.
Really?
And that's what Sarah Palin said.
Right in the bottom of the ocean, or
you want to hear some fucking tinfoil theories on what happened to that for reals? So I'll give you the down low of what 4chan thinks happened, and I think it's pretty good.
They're the X-Files, the Brown Files.
Yeah, you know in the X-Files, the fat nerdy guys used to hang out, the 3 fucking nerds. I'll give you that breakdown.
All right.
So the whole Benghazi thing, you know, we know the CIA selling fucking these Wahhabist weapons that they're not supposed to. They sold them some fucking stingers. They shot down some of our helicopters. Obviously, that's a big no-no. So the whole cover-up, that's why Benghazi is a big cover-up. I think that these fucking Wahhabist jerk-offs shot down that fucking airliner. And there's direct evidence that the only people that could do that would be our equipment. So essentially, we did it, you know, or we armed these idiots that did it. So big cover up, la 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 la, hide that shit up.
There would be more debris, which would make it just fun. I think the plane, if it went down, it went down whole, or it evaporated. I think if you blow it up, that's 1,000 pieces of evidence. And it would show up.
Well, exactly. Well, it wasn't. You know, we didn't blow it up on purpose. You know, we armed these rebels because we're fucking stupid. We love doing that. We arm the rebels. We sell them a bunch of arms. They fight somebody we want them to fight, and like 10 years later, we come back and fight the fucking same rebels we armed. It's like a crazy cycle. You know, in the 80s,
they kill us with the weapons that we gave them.
Oh fuck yeah! In the 1980s, the Taliban was fighting the Soviet Union, and we're like, fuck Soviet Union. So we gave the Taliban all these weapons, and they fucking kicked the Soviets' ass. And we're like, yay! Fast forward 2002, 9/11, fuck. We go over there, boom, they have stingers that we fucking gave them. ISIS is rolling around Iraq right now in fucking Humvees. What the fuck?
Look at Libya.
What was that?
Libya, another great example.
Oh my god, yeah.
And then Gaddafi, an asshole, you know.
You know, that's something that, like, you know, the whole Hillary Clinton blah 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 nonsense was, and I thought wasn't getting enough attention. Listen, the fucking Middle East is a fucking mess. It's a dumpster fire. It is much worse than it was in 2009. In 2009, we owned fucking Iraq. They had a goddamn election. They had a free open election. Nobody's getting their fucking head cut off. You know, is Assad a good guy? Probably not. Was Gaddafi a great guy? No, he wasn't. But, you know, he wasn't fucking ISIS. He wasn't fucking drowning people in cages, shooting guys in the face with shotguns.
They should have killed Assad 5 years.
Listen, I'm not in the business of nation building for a multitude of reasons, but the number one reason that I'm not in the nation building is we're not good at it. Like the war in Iraq, and you could actually say that the war in Iraq really started during the Gulf War, but you know, George Sr. didn't do it all the way, so George Jr. had to finish it up, and then he fucking dumpster fire, public opinion shifts. Then Obama fucking just pulls out, makes it worse. We just keep fucking doubling down, making it worse. We're not good at nation building. Let's stop doing it. Because A, it's a fucking gigantic waste of goddamn money. And B, we got a fucking generation of, first of all, we lost 6,000 people fighting for land that we ended up giving back, which is fucking asinine. And then now you have a generation of guys who are fucking missing limbs and all broken and fucked up. there's no real point. What was the point of it? At the end, when they were fighting in Mosul like 2, 3 weeks ago, I sent my brother Mike a text and I was like, "Hey, you see any pictures on TV of fucking shit you remember?" A decade earlier, him and his buddies were there fucking trying to invade. We invade, we win, we give it back, we try again. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it really is. Problem is, once you're there,
Yeah, I agree. Like, obviously in hindsight,
other ISIS groups are going to emerge. It's not growing.
absolutely. So, like,
that's what I'll play. They had ISIS.
And you're breaking up again, Sean.
From the rubble.
Basically, yeah, I completely agree. So, you know what? The war in Iraq hindsight was a bad idea. But once you crack that egg, that's it. You got to finish it right. What we should have done was the way that we did it in Korea, we did in Japan, we did in Germany, where we build the nation, quote unquote, but we just essentially never leave. We leave a fucking ginormous force there just for stability. Germany, we left an entire armored division, a division of fucking tanks there forever since World War II.
The military's still there today.
Nuremberg, it's one of the biggest army hospitals there is. The Big Red One, that the famous First Infantry Division lives there. The 3rd Marine Corps Infantry Division lives in Japan.
Germany today is the best economy in the world. They're running on all cylinders.
Yeah, but the Germany is really what they're doing is they're white guilting themselves right out of their own essentially utopia that they had. So the fucking euro, goddamn disaster. They're essentially the Northern European good economies, Scandinavian Germans, are dragging along everyone in the Mediterranean who just fucking won't work, and that socialism nonsense doesn't work. You look at what happened in Greece.
Italy, Spain, Ireland, they're all there. All those are, all three. Greece is complete shithole. Let's go home.
Absolutely, because they're drained.
They're all terrible. They all have failing economies. Brexit was a great move for you. The pound's never been strong. Well, the pound has buried, but it's gonna bounce.
Listen, the best thing that the UK ever did was not getting rid of the pound and accepting the euro, because you tie yourself in with these nations that have literally a history of just being economically unstable. And then now you add that to their nonsense open borders, globalist bullshit, where they let this migrants in.
I have this great job. What's my cousin? He's let me let him live. He lives with you, And he's like, he needs to borrow some money. Next thing you know, he's borrowing all your fucking money, your shit. He's going to be like, why? That's what Germany is. Why am I paying fucking stuff? Do I give a fuck about the rest of the But that's Berlin policy. So yeah, but you know what? Refugees, at least us being states that we have to deal with that. They're not on our border. Our refugees will be told next. You know what? They work hard. I don't bother.
Well, you know what? That's probably where me and you, our geopolitical opinions disagree a little bit. But I'll tell you this. This is why, and this is a different take on it. It's not they're stealing our jobs or shit like that. This is the real reason. If you care about working conditions and you care about unions and you care about workers' rights, you should be against illegal immigration, because what illegal immigration does, it exploits these people who have no other choice. So the people from Mexico and other South American countries, they're economic migrants essentially. They have no choice. So when you say, hey, you're going to mow lawns for $4 an hour, they go, all right, because that's better than anything they can get in Mexico. So what they're really doing is taking advantage of them. It's essentially economic slavery. It's fucked up. The idea that we abolished slavery in the mid 19th century, yeah, we did, but we just sort of replaced it with economic slavery. The factory where they make iPhones has a fucking net to stop people from jumping off the roof. The working conditions and the way that we treat workers is a disaster. And the real irony is that
as astronomical. Like you said, the net's real. People are knocking themselves off.
You can look it up on Google, man. You can see the picture of it. It's fucking nuts. But the idea that, oh, they're in here for a better life. And that's mostly true for the vast majority of them. But in reality, we're not doing it the right way. We're taking advantage of them. A lot of the people in the Midwest, and it's one of the surprising reasons that in the Rust Belt, Trump did as well as he did. Farmers use a lot of illegal immigrants to like pick fruit and do manual labor. But those farmers are exploiting migrant workers for gain. It's fucked up. This, and what boggles my mind is socialist liberal idiots in our society on CNN and stuff will talk about, $15 minimum wage. But there's no such thing as an illegal immigrant. There's no such thing as an undocumented person. Yeah, you're working to fight for that college kid to get $15 an hour to flip fucking burgers. What you don't realize is in the same notion that you let fucking Jose in to stand outside of Home Depot, he's not getting $15 an hour. He's getting fucking nothing. He's getting fucked, and he's gonna hang drywall for $100 a day.
If you do that, you just kiosk. You can have robots. Why not pay 12 people $15 an hour? We pay 3 people.
I can. I completely agree. If you double payroll, the way that any publicly traded company is worked out is you have projected earnings, and your projected earnings you have to hit, or your stock price will go down, and your company's worth will go down, and then you can't leverage money and borrow money. You'll be all fucked up. So if you want to keep your balance sheet in line, but you want to double payroll, how the fuck does that work? Either A, prices need to all double, but you can't do that because the market won't be able to flex like that, because conglomerates like McDonald's will be able to do that because they're gigantic conglomerates. But any other, like a fucking deli or a pizzeria or something like that, they can't just double their payroll. They'll lose. And they can't just double the prices because they'll lose on the marketplace. So it's a short-sighted, stupid idea.
Me and you aren't going to buy a $24 pizza. We're not.
No one is. We're going to go buy the fucking $9.99 dollar menu fucking shit from McDonald's. McDonald's makes enough money, and they're big enough and diverse enough in their portfolio where they can sort of flex that way. But small to medium-sized businesses aren't. Listen, do I think that we should raise the minimum wage? Sure. But doubling it, you can't double it overnight. It's not feasible. And I understand $15 an hour is a living wage, is what you need, right? You need to become a skilled laborer in our country and work somewhere where that's not minimum wage to have a family. I'm sorry, but that's the way it is. What's that?
It's easier said than done, though. I agree with you. But you go into a culture of poverty project, places that they can't still live, never had any to begin with. But you have to start somewhere. So, you have the right approach, have better results.
Honestly, you know what I think is the real crux of the issue, if you want to get as micro as possible, is socialized government or like liberal leftism, whatever you want to call it. What they've really done, and for a lot of the lower classes, they've replaced the father with a welfare check. So, girl gets pregnant, and back in the day it used to be, oh, I got her pregnant, I marry her, now we start a family, blah, blah, blah. Now we've sort of subtracted the man out, and the government has subsidized that. Great, right? The problem is a father contributes a lot more than just a paycheck to a family. There's a whole morals and examples and work. There's a whole bunch of other shit that happens. So when you do that,
there's a lot of cultural factors.
Absolutely, it affects certain cultures more than others. But I'm talking like very broadly on an economic range. The lower class has a much, the children out of wedlock and people that are below the poverty level is dramatically higher than others. Obviously the divorce rate in the middle class is very high, but I'm talking about never married, never family, just knocked up single mom, bye. No child support, nothing. Just the mom by herself and the government subsidy.
We might disagree on immigration, but I agree with you as far as minimum wage.
Well, my thing is this. I want immigration, absolutely. My mother is an immigrant. I'm only first generation here. But I want legal immigration so that they have papers, so that they can pay taxes, and for their own sake, so that employers just don't take advantage of them. You know, if you're a Mexican guy, right, and you lay bricks and they drop fucking a pallet of bricks on your back and break your fucking spine, bye. Fucking Jose number two comes in, takes your job. Now you can't afford your family. You don't have health insurance, so you're going to the ER for everything because you're waiting hours. Your life sucks.
Go to Goldstein, the lawyer, and get it.
Well, that's the thing, though. The lawyer, they can't even go get a lawyer because a lot of them won't speak English. But you know, so they have this aura of illegal activity going on, so they're afraid to go see a lawyer because maybe they'll get deported. Blah blah blah. You know, it's the real way to fix this is just go, hey, if you hire an illegal immigrant, we're gonna hurt your business to the point where we're gonna put you out of business. Because
who's gonna write that? Who's gonna clean the dish? Who's gonna do every kitchen in Manhattan? How are you gonna regulate? Workers. Where are the workers force gonna come? Who's gonna say, yeah, I want to clean dishes all day? That's what I want.
No, listen, people aren't going to want to do them. But listen, the influx of illegal immigration to this country is sort of a new thing. In the 1950s, we didn't have migrant workers. We had Americans doing these jobs. And the idea that a kid's job is very much a busboy, dishwasher, that has evaporated. Kids don't have high school jobs anymore. I think that's probably where we need to correct it.
Now kids have iPads. State electronics. Yeah, I see this 4-year-old playing video games. When I was 4, I had black and white Game Boy.
Yeah, the
tiny 8-bit screen. I thought it was great.
Awesome. I think that's another problem too. So now you have adults working kids' jobs. Fucking McDonald's is a kid's job or a retiree's job. But you know, I'm raising a family at fucking McDonald's and it's not working. No shit, it's not working. But the fact that these kids aren't getting these jobs, I think actually bleeds into them. So school is a fucking joke. The joke, ha ha ha, everyone wins, blah blah blah. They go to college, it gets fucking worse.
I would say it was a joke. We didn't have a good time.
Exactly, it's a good time.
We used to throw tuna fish sandwiches at them. You know, with the surf.
Dr. Farted.
Gary farted on.
Yeah, I'm gonna call Miss Thomas.
I would think bagels. Oh, great.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna get Miss Thomas on the line.
Give me a long distance. Oh, I call it Barbados.
Follow me now.
Follow me now, rude boy.
Yeah. well, that's the problem. So now you get these kids, they're getting fucking coddled, their ass kissed from fucking kindergarten through college. College is a fucking gigantic joke. Safe space, blah, 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 blah. Don't use those pronouns. Then they go into the job market and they can't find a fucking job. Oh, the economy sucks. No, it doesn't. You fucking suck. There's a difference.
Job market is horrendous. It's very difficult. It's not easy.
No, I'm not saying the job market's phenomenal. What I'm saying is the numbers you say of recent college graduates who can't find a job, that's overstated because you have kids who have college degrees in fucking medieval literature or women's studies or African societies. Like, you're not going to find a fucking job. Sorry.
If you want English major, what the fuck is teach? What else do you write a book?
You're an English major. Go write a fucking book. I don't know what to tell you. Like, there's a ton of that. And also, it's this. I would say there's a ton of this too. They don't want to pay their dues either. Listen, I was a fucking intern. Internships suck. You're basically someone's bitch. I was someone's bitch. And I was someone's bitch after being in the Marine Corps. So I had to come out of the Marine Corps, go to college with all these fucking kids, and then come out and let some fucking fat guy at fucking Key Food tell me what to do. That sucks. But, you know, I bit the bullet, and that's what you do.
There you go. So, on a lighter note, you see the new Pokemon game?
What there was a Pokemon that came out in Starbucks or something, right?
So I'm not sure. Somewhere in the Sub Nerd Smack Burger email chain.
The Sup Nerds email chain. Are you talking about the Nintendo Connect?
Sorry, the one coming out with 3DS.
Oh. Yes.
It's not already, actually. it out already. I haven't picked it up. I plan on getting it this time. Probably. Yeah.
You know what? It's probably a good idea for me because I got this fucking commute that takes goddamn fucking 2 hours a day both ways. Right now I play fucking Minecraft on my laptop, but I could probably use something else. That's why I really that Nintendo Connect looks fucking sick. I can't wait for that to come out.
Yeah, I don't know the battery life. I mean, I drive when I work on the road. But for your commute, you're on Earth.
Yeah, how did that interview go with the chocolate company?
It went well. Still, but the financial offer was similar to what I'm making. A lot more. It was double for a state. I don't.
Nice. So that they made you an offer. That's fucking dope.
No, I had a third interview. But from my understanding, what the offer is, I don't think.
Yeah, they.
I'm not making whatever more at double the commute. It's not bad up.
Yeah, the companies nowadays they do that. They make you come in like fucking 5 or 6 times before they decide to hire you. It's a fucking joke.
Oh, they make you run through the house like a dog. Literally like a fucking dog. But that's the job market. They can get away with it. So
Yeah.
Unfortunately, people there be someone that wants to do more for the same job or quite less money. So it's like it is what it is.
You know what? You're doing it the right way though, man. You gotta go for a job interview from a place of power, meaning you have a job, so you're not desperate. Because when you don't have a job, you get desperate, and you know they're like, hey, we're gonna fucking stick it in your butt. You go, okay, thank you. But if you have a job, you go fuck themselves.
You're listening to UCY.